Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's stream. I know the guest selection is very small right now, but everyone else is running a little late. So for now, it's just Bob and I. I think by this point, everyone knows Bob, but Bob, go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Bob from BK Photo Page. That's about it.
So obviously, this week is a very exciting week. And when I say that, that goes for everyone, not even just us over here in Jersey. Even Bob is having an exciting week this week. Of course, the big event is that Wildcat's Revenge opens this week. The first riding day is tomorrow for pass holders. So if you guys are going tomorrow, enjoy yourselves. Let me know what you think of the ride. I'll be getting there Thursday along with Bob and quite a few of us. So definitely stay tuned for content on that. I know I released a video a little while before this live stream began. So I'm super excited for Wildcat's Revenge, and I really can't wait for Media Day. It should be awesome. Bob, how excited are you for Wildcat?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited to just even get the invite to come, which was cool. Although we're waiting for her to email us all back with details other than that. But yeah, I'm really excited. I haven't seen you guys in a while, so I'm excited to hang out with you guys at Hershey Park too. So that'll be fun. And then I'm going to some kind of Leap the Dips birthday celebration on Saturday. I don't know what that entails, but I was invited to like 2 months ago, and then I followed up with her the other day. She said, yeah, it's still happening, but there's still no details. So I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I'm also making a bit of an exciting weekend out of the whole situation. So my school decided to give us a weird group of days off, and that includes almost this entire week. So figure we turn it into a trip, and I'll get into the details of that a little bit. Right now, we have Ace joining us from the car. Ace, welcome to the stream.
What's up, Colin? What's up, Bob?
Yo.
How y'all doing?
Pretty good. So where were you just now?
Well, I just got in from Busch Gardens, Tampa. I had one hell of a day because it was so hot today and a little crowded. So I was running around everywhere, but I got my coasters in. I got 5 rides on Gwazi because you know what I did last year. I told you I don't have to worry about breaking records. Yeah, I'm good with five Gwazis, 4 in the front, 1 in the back. So it worked out well. And I met some wonderful people too and exchanged numbers.
Nice.
And I got to share all my experiences with them. They were amazed by looking at my spreadsheet with all my credits and parks I've been to. So that was really nice that they asked about it and they showed
Ace made all kinds of friends at Coaster Stock, Colin. He made all kinds of friends. It was crazy.
So how was Coaster Stock?
Awesome. It was so much fun.
It was awesome and exhausting, good exhaustion. Because Bob had this. The funny thing is, Bob saw me on my last legs. I couldn't even do no more Orion. I was literally falling off. Bob saw it. I was exhausted.
It was like 20 minutes into the ERT session on the second day, and there was nobody there. I mean, all the families had like left, so there was like we rode Orion almost by ourselves like twice in a row, and as we're walking out, Ace is like, "I'm leaving. I got to get on the road for Dollywood," but he could like barely walk. He was a zombie by that point. It was like 10 o'clock.
Yeah, it was exhausting. It was 2 straight days. It was like those 2 Coaster Manias in one. It was extreme, but it was great. we met the Gravity Group guy and Don, nice people. So
Sammy,
wish you would have
been
there.
What's going on, guys?
All right, so we do have a person coming, and that person's Austin. But since 4 of us are here, I do want to get into what our trip plans are because we all have something planned for this week, whether it's 1 day, 2 days, a week. We'll start with Ace because Ace, you've been on a giant trip. Why don't you tell everyone what you've done so far and what you're gonna do?
Well, the first trip that I went on,
my trip.
the first trip I went on was to Cedar Point and Coaster Stock for Kings Island and Dollywood, and then got back home. And then now I'm on the middle of this trip, which was Carowinds over Georgia, Fun Spot Atlanta, the 2 SeaWorld Florida parks, SeaWorld Orlando and Busch Gardens Tampa, and then I'm gonna go head up to Virginia to finish off in Hershey Park also for to get my ride on Wildcat. With my king size pass.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but all of us are going to be there on Thursday for Wildcat, correct?
That is certain.
Everyone
in the stream, including Austin. So
yeah,
that'll be awesome.
Wow.
Yep.
So Sammy, you're riding it tomorrow, right?
Oh, I'm so excited. I am so excited. I'm like beyond excited. I heard
Oh
from a
wow.
maintenance worker that it was like take Aeroforce One and times it by 100, and that's how good the ride is.
Well,
Ah.
Ace is the
That's
only
what
one that's
someone
ridden
put online.
Aeroforce here.
Well, I can have something to that. I could attest to it because from the looks of things, Aeroforce One is not rewritable, and there's a lot of airtime, but it don't look like it's gonna be as good as Wildcat. I did predict that Wildcat is gonna blow it out of the sky. It's gonna definitely be a great mid-tier RMC, like probably even better than Goliath at Great America. I could see that. I'm excited about Wildcat, similar to probably how Gwazi is
I,
on a smaller scale, obviously.
I think we're looking at Gwazi North. I think.
I don't know if I'd
Close
say
to it.
that. I think
Yeah,
it's really well-paced ride, but it's more focused on
Yeah.
inversions. Gwazi's all about airtime and aggressiveness. Wildcat is about the
Yeah.
inversions. That's the big difference there.
yeah. I was
Wildcat
noticing
also has
that
a heavy
today.
I mean,
focus on
I'll
on its
find out
wave
tomorrow.
turns. When you look at
What about
Wildcat's layout,
We'll
it
find out
has
tomorrow.
2 wave turns, an overbank turn. I mean, I can't think of many RMCs with that many wave turns. And we have the 5th Infinity Stone here. Austin has made it. Austin, you're going to be there on Thursday for Wildcat, right?
Yes, sir.
All of us will be there. So very exciting. Very excited to get on this ride. It's going to be awesome.
I
I think we
agree.
might as well just coin this week Wildcat Week because that's all anyone's going to be talking about.
yeah?
But back to the ride, I think that it definitely has potential to be the best new coaster of this year. Of course, I personally haven't ridden Aeroforce yet, so I can't judge that for sure. But it really does look like a really strong layout. And I remember when it was first announced, I thought it was kind of short, but I timed up the prime ride time, and it's 45 seconds long. I mean, it's a pretty complete ride. It's not short by any means. It has a really good layout, lots of good elements, really standout elements too, not just like these little elements that are rapid fire. Every element seems to have a presence and really be drawn out, but not drawn out in a bad way. So I'm really, really excited about this ride. I know chat seems to be very excited about Wildcat. Of course, the first topic to come up in there was Wildcat. Let's see if I can find what they were saying about Wildcat.
It looks like the stream is really laggy.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll be working Wildcat's Revenge Team tomorrow. Well,
Nice.
Thank you for working because I'm sure you're going to see a lot of excited riders tomorrow. Let's see.
Cool.
Hopefully, it's unlike a typical RMC and doesn't break down 87 times in the first year. We'll see.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. I don't know if you guys have seen Wildcat's lighting package. It is
It's really
literally
cool.
Gwazi. It is so cool looking.
I haven't seen
Yeah,
it.
I like the lift hill lights too. They have like a rainbow flasher on them.
It's
So
one
you're-
of the coolest lighting packages
really
I've ever
cool.
seen because it's almost
So
identical to Gwazi.
All different colors or one color? What colors
Whatever
is
they
the lighting
want.
package?
Whatever they
Oh,
want,
we don't
just
know
like
yet.
Gwazi.
Oh wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Really, really awesome looking. I don't know how much it's really going to be open at night when it starts off. Like, I don't think it's going to be open at all this week to the point where it'll get dark enough for those lights to really have
Oh,
a presence.
that is pretty cool.
But
Well, they
definitely
they
by
start 10
dark
o'clock
night.
operations next Saturday.
What, 10 p.m.?
Yeah, I
Sammy?
think it goes to 10 next Saturday. I'm checking right now.
But it's also weekends too.
Yeah,
Yeah, wait, I'm
Wildcat's
checking hours.
Wildcat's got a little bit to live up to for me now because as you know, I rode Aeroforce One last weekend, and man, I gotta say that thing almost rivaled Gwazi. It really
Yeah.
is. It really does live up to the hype. That thing is absolutely incredible.
That's awesome.
I don't know what it is about that ride. I
In
think
3 weeks, they start going till 10.
I think for me, the biggest thing for Aeroforce One is the fact that it has a variety, unlike any other RMC. Like a lot of the RMCs are mainly primarily focused on like airtime and whatnot, but Aeroforce One has some really intense moments, like that turnaround going into the second inversion before the brake run, like the quad down and all that. I was graying out a couple times on that part. Like it was pretty forceful. So I think that might be like the first RMC to like really have forces like that.
Right. And I do see a comment in here. I heard people are saying that they are friends with operators. They say El Toro will open early June. What do you think about that? See, I'm a little conflicted on when I think
Me and
Toro's going
Austin
to
just had a
open
conversation.
because the trains are on the track for starters. Both trains are there. One train is in the station, and the other train is on the transfer track. I believe B train
Is in the station.
and A train
A
is on the
train is-
transfer track.
Yeah.
And I've heard conflicting reports on whether or not it's cycled or not. I mean, it's possible that it has, although there is currently track work ongoing on the Rolling Thunder Hill.
No,
And
it's done.
oh, it is done now?
Yep.
Okay, so they must have moved really
So-
fast with that.
Yeah, we
Me and Sammy were
That's a
just
good-
there, and we were looking at it. And the Rolling Thunder Hill, you can see where they added new steel strips onto the track, where that peaks on its hill.
So did
What
they
I-
replace the top layers of wood with steel?
I think they just took the steel plating off
No.
the track
Okay.
and put new steel down.
they kind of tore up like about. It looks like they tore up about 2 centimeters worth of tracks. That way, the upstops are closer on the Rolling Thunder Hill.
Interesting. But I noticed
that's
like
good
what I'm
news.
getting
throughout
out of
the
it.
entire project, every spot they did retracking in, all of them were done like totally differently from each other. It's really weird.
Yeah.
Like we have that one section at the bottom of the first drop that looks like brand new prefabricated track. I don't know if it's actually from the German company. I've heard conflicting opinions on that too,
It is,
but it's definitely
it
a
is
brand
not.
new segment of
it's
track.
not.
And then, of course, there's the new segment of track at the top of the drop, too, on the turn. And then you have other spots like the bottom, I believe, of the second drop and, of course, the Rolling Thunder Hill, where they just replaced the track on site, not prefabricated. So I'm really curious how those different spots are going to feel and ride. I just hope overall that the ride is incident-free this year and has a good year, stays open all year, runs really good. I'm pretty optimistic about it personally. As for when it is going to open, I think any later than June would surprise me. I think it'll open in the month of June at some point. Whether it's early, mid, late, I'm not too sure. I'd say maybe more mid-June because, I mean, June 1st is in a couple days. So I don't know if they're going to make early June per se, but somewhere around maybe June 16th or I could see that. What was that, Sammy?
We'll see some testing probably next weekend. That's my guess. I
Oh,
think
yeah,
we'll see some
definitely.
testing next weekend.
I think we'll see it even sooner, to be honest.
If we haven't already seen it, then we just don't know. You never know.
Yeah, I think I heard what I heard. I think you're hearing too, Colin. I was told that it cycled before they started doing what they were doing on the Rolling Thunder Hill, and then after a couple of cycles, they started working on that part or something. But it like cycled off park hours or something like that, like a few times.
Right.
That's what I heard. I don't know if that matches what you heard or not, but
That's exactly what I heard. So something else I do see here, I skipped over accidentally. True thoughts on Wildcat's Revenge. Overhyped or underhyped and why? I think if you go in with the right expectations, you'll find it to be underhyped, where it seems like it was underrated by people that were excited for it, but not like crazy excited for it. But I think people expecting it to be the best RMC, they're overhyping it. Personally, that's what I think. It's going to be really good, but is it going to be a Steel Vengeance or Iron Gwazi killer? I personally don't think so at all. But
No, but
it has
it's
very good
also like
potential to be the best coaster at the park.
I love Hershey Park, but that park has like the perfect lineup of balance. That's the one spot they were missing. Like, and it's a perfect fit for that park.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Ace, what do you
Did
think?
you see the multi-launch?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense because Wildcat was the original Wildcat was a weak link, and it was pretty much diminutive compared to all the other great coasters that they have. So now you turn a diminutive weak coaster into one of the most powerful, best coasters in the park. So I'm excited about it. Our Energylandia of America. That's pretty much what this park has become.
Right. I mean, it's definitely getting there.
Yeah, it's pretty much there as far as I'm concerned, and it's going to keep on adding on. In 2 years, remember the B&M package? There's a lot more to add, though, of course. They have a lot of land in Hershey now with the 200 million expansion in 2020.
That's true. Something else I do want to address coming out of Great Adventure is Skyway. So obviously Skyway was originally supposed to open for Memorial Day weekend, and as I highlighted in my previous vlog, that is no longer the case. They changed the sign on the lakefront side. And of course, now Frontier Adventures is open over there, but you can't get on the ride. Of course, it's closed. I've heard a lot of different things about Skyway. But one thing that seems to prevail above all of them is that they're having issues getting parts because the original manufacturer of that attraction no longer exists, and they pretty much have to make their own parts for the ride, which is very difficult to do. And of course, there's almost none left in the United States. Over Georgia is pretty much a parts donor for them now. They got a bunch of new cars from over Georgia, but that's only going to keep it going for so long. And I know a lot of us would be absolutely devastated to see it go. But the way it's looking right now, it looks like it's possible that it may not open, at least this year. I don't think it's going to open again this year. As for next year, hopefully they're able to find the parts they need or whatever they need to do. Because, of course, it is no longer on the app. I'm not sure about website. I haven't checked, but it's probably not on either of them. So, unfortunately, I'm thinking it's probably not going to open this year. Thoughts?
It said closed for season on the app.
Yeah.
It said closed for season on the app. So, yeah.
I think you're lagging, Sammy, because you're repeating yourself.
No, I think he said it twice.
Yeah, I'm going to try I'm going to restart it.
Okay.
I think they should just hire Phil to make the parts because he could figure it out quicker than they can.
Probably. Yeah, I just have a bad feeling about Skyway. I could see it going the same route as parachutes, where it's just a silent closure. I mean, parachutes closed for the fact that it just could not get parts anymore. There's a little more to it, but really it was just very difficult to get parts for that attraction because it's not something that's readily available anymore. And then the fact that this is the same situation with Skyway where they cannot get parts. I just have a bad feeling about this.
Well, and what sucks about taking those down too is that they don't take up a big footprint. So it's not like you're opening up a ton of land to do anything else with either.
They're opening up nothing because
that's what I'm saying.
That is true.
They can't even get rid of those towers because they're so, placed into the park in such a way where they're not going to go anywhere.
That's true and all, but you're also missing that by removing these rides, you're taking a lot of funding out of maintenance. Like, I'm sure the Skyway costs a ton of money to run.
Sure.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, as far as how it looks investment-wise, I think it's probably a better idea for them financially rather than to keep pouring money into it to keep it open. As as it's a beloved ride and everything, like I'm sure, like Colin said, that a lot of people are going to be upset to see it go. But my feelings on it are the same as Colin's. I think it's going to get soft closed, and I don't think we're going to ever see it open ever again.
Well, you said it perfectly. I mean, everything in this business is about financials. I mean, if it's not financially feasible for them, they're not going to keep it open.
Absolutely.
I did the calculation that like if the Disney Skyliner company was to come in and redo ours, it'd be about 5.5 million.
Nope.
So,
Sammy, can you tilt your camera down a little bit?
You have like a lightning bolt going through your head right now.
Do I?
Yeah, you might want to just turn your light off.
Yeah, that's probably the best bet.
And use your computer as a facial light.
Reflector.
That's what I do.
Yeah, give me 1 second.
Yeah, I'm seeing now in the chat. Let me just scroll down to it real quick. Only Lakefront Station is viable unless you remove the entire fort, which probably costs as much as the Biscotti Bowl. I don't think they're going to get rid of the fort if Skyway closes. I think they'll just find a way to reuse it. Kind of like what they did with Best of the West, where they didn't get rid of it per se. I mean, obviously it was getting to the point where it's not very popular and wasn't getting much visitation as a restaurant. So now they converted into that VIP lounge.
Oh, can we also talk about that?
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it. I think it's just the whole idea of going to Great Adventure just to go sit down in a lounge. Like, that's not what I'm doing at the park. I'm going there to ride stuff. I mean, I guess maybe on a crowded day, it's nice to go in there and get, snacks or whatever. But I don't know how I feel about that.
All right, I'll start. I found myself actually in there 3 times today when the park got really crowded and I was kind of just bored. I had a blast there. I'm not gonna lie. I was playing Jenga. I was playing cornhole. I was just relaxing there for a little bit. Like, it was such a cool spot that I'm like, this is gonna be really beneficial this year. Because Colin, how many times did we just sit down and we're like, what do we do now?
Quite a few.
So honestly, it's only gonna be worth it if you're going for more than 3 hours. But I had a blast in there. I thought it was really well done. If you're ordering food there, which I know it's not on the meal plan, they come and serve it to you. They'll come with a tray and everything and serve it to you. They ask if you need anything. Like, they're very nice there. There's free popcorn, free chips, free drinks. And I talked to a worker, and he said they're going to be doing cookie and fruit platters soon. And overall, it was really cool.
I mean, I can attest to the, like, I guess, allure of playing games or whatever at a park. I remember there was a time at Cedar Point where my dad and I were just kind of moseying around. Everything had a really long line, and we walked over to that spot in Frontier Town. I can't remember what the building is called. It's where they used to sell Fastlane in 2019. And we wound up sitting down and playing checkers against each other for like half an hour, just killing time. And we didn't even realize how fast the time went. But even little things just like that, I mean, it can definitely entertain you at a park when it's super crowded and there's nothing else to do. Yeah. But what I'm not too sure about is what they're doing with Houdini, because Houdini needs that queue space. We've seen what Houdini looks like on a crowded day. That line gets pretty full. And it looks like they added that new brick pathway that I highlighted in my last vlog, so that they can both have access to the VIP lounge for people in, say, a right lane, and then in a left lane, they can just go straight onto Houdini. But there's really not enough queue space over there. They got rid of Houdini's entire queue, the whole shaded area, and now it's just that one switchback, and that's it.
I heard a rumor that the pre-show is now switched back.
That's unfortunate. If that's true, that's very unfortunate. Because Houdini is one of the best, if not the best, themed ride in the whole park. And the pre-show is one of the biggest parts of that. So I hope that's not the case.
No, it's just a rumor.
Okay. Well, I hope so. Hope it doesn't come true. Do you think Skyway will go to another park? Absolutely not.
Nope.
Definitely not. No. They're not going to move those towers at all. They're not even going to take them out of Great Adventure if the ride does close, just like they've done at every other park. Six Flags New England still has their towers standing up. It's just too difficult to really get them out of the park, so they're just going to leave them up, unfortunately. Let's see.
Not to
I was
mention,
at Great Adventure last Friday, and Skull Mountain had a stream of water throughout the queue line. Did you notice this when you visited? I have seen it puddle up in there a little bit from the waterfall, but I haven't been there on a rainy day and ridden Skull Mountain, so I don't know. I don't remember seeing a stream of water, but I wouldn't be surprised. There's only a few drainage spots throughout that queue. Let's see. Does anyone know when they open the gates to get in the park? If you're talking about Great Adventure, it really depends on the day. I haven't gone for opening in quite a while, but typically, if not at 10:30, it'll usually be around 10:15, 10:20. Sometimes they do let you in early. Other times they wait right up until park opening. So it really just depends on the day. How do you feel about Fiesta Texas and Great Adventure VIP Coca-Cola Lounge? I think Fiesta Texas actually looks really nice. It's indoor, and it looks like they fully did a total redo of it for the sake of a VIP lounge, and I think it looks excellent.
And I bet Jeff goes and hangs out in there and says hi to people and things.
Yep, sure. That wouldn't surprise me either.
Oh, did you hear about the new park president?
What was that?
Did you hear about the new park president?
Well, he's been scheduled to be the park president for a while now.
Well, he's coming tomorrow.
He's been at the park. I've seen him a million times at the park.
I think we're talking. I was talking to Austin about it. I don't know if we're talking about the same guy. Because it's not the intern.
It's not Randy?
I don't think so, right? It's a different guy, Austin, right?
No, I'm pretty sure it's the intern.
Is it the intern?
Yeah.
Why would they have the interim not go on to be the full park president?
The Imagineer guy?
Yes.
Okay, I don't know if it was the same one or not.
Yeah, Randy Wilk is the park president at Great Adventure.
Okay.
So he was interim, but I guess now he is the park president.
Yeah.
But Great Adventure actually is getting an esports setup. They're getting an E6 because if you look at their shipping records, I forget what the website is actually called. There is esports equipment that has been shipped for Great Adventure. So expect an E6 to come to Great Adventure similar to that of Fiesta Texas. I honestly don't know where they're going to put it, but I guess we'll find out. Watch them convert Houdinis into E6.
I was about to say, I was like,
that'd be rough.
Spot.
That'd be a huge loss for the park. Honestly, I feel like they're going to do it to that arcade by Batman.
I could see that.
Or one of the tents.
I don't think it's going to be one of the tents. The tents, I don't know about you guys, but I feel gross when I go through any of them tents. I feel like they need so much work, and they're just neglecting them.
Yeah.
It definitely has a bad stench to it too. I
They
can tell.
smell
And the
musty,
AC
and
doesn't work all the time.
they
Huh?
smell musty. They smell
They
musty,
do.
and I think
They
I
do.
think it's because they have ceiling leaks and stuff, and mold growing above the tiles, and they don't do anything about it.
Yeah.
I mean, the only tent that obviously isn't used year round is Big Top Terrors, but they're not going to go into that because they have it set up year round for that.
Yeah.
So the only thing I could really see is Attitudes or the one at Crossman. I can never remember what it's called. But even then, they still get a decent amount of visitation, even though they're in a really weird spot for gift shops. So
Mhm.
I don't know if they would do it there. And I don't know that they would do it over by the Northern Star Arena because obviously Northern Star Arena is done whenever they decide to get rid of it or renovate it. Something has to
The
happen
Ducky
with
is
it.
in the Northern Star Arena.
That's where they put the duck now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the Six Flags bus is also behind Medusa now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Is the horse anywhere to be found?
I think it looks like it's in the dumpster behind Northern Star Arena, but I can't tell if it's the horse.
That's unfortunate, if true. Hope they bring the horse back. And I don't know if you guys saw this. Doesn't it look like the top of Medusa's sign got like painted a little bit?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, because I thought it looked different than I remember it looking last
What I
year.
had heard was
Different shade.
a lot of a decent part of the reason why they kept Medusa closed up until Memorial Day is because apparently they were redoing stuff around the area to it because it wasn't done well enough last year, so they were fixing up some things.
Good.
There's definitely a couple welds that are noticed on the track they did.
Speaking of Medusa, if we have the time to get into it, I'd like to talk about it a little bit, if that's all right.
Yeah, go for it.
So me and Sammy rode it today, and I'm not even gonna lie, I'm like really disappointed with how it's running this year. I don't know if you guys managed to get on it or not yet this year, but going up the lift hill, like even where it's not like really forceful or anything, you can notice like a really like obvious vibration on the train, and I feel like there might be an issue with the wheel assemblies somewhere.
I think I was sitting on a bad wheel too.
Hold on one second.
Yeah, no, it's definitely there was a very noticeable vibration on the train, especially at the top of the loop, which was kind of weird because I never felt it there before. And then the second half, I think I was first train of the day on that, and it was almost valleying. That's how slow it was going.
Were they fully stopping on the mid course like they did last year?
Yeah, that's the big issue.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I don't know. It was very vibraty. Like the whole ride itself was just very, very vibraty today. And I noticed it was running like, and I know it's only 2 days into the season too, but it was running noticeably slower compared to last year, even in the first half, in my opinion, anyway.
Yeah.
How's Mine Train running?
I rode it. It was pretty good. I don't think Austin did. Did you get to it?
Yeah, I don't think I rode it. No.
Yeah, it was running pretty good. I was also first train of the season or first train of the day on that.
Has there been any improvements with the concrete between the runaway train, the log flume, and Medusa, and also throughout the whole area? Have you noticed anything? Beautification?
I don't think
Austin, Sammy?
that area.
Not that I'm aware of. I think it just looks the same.
Oh,
They may have redone the pathway to the VIP lounge and stuff.
Yeah,
So-
that was redone. The pavement on that bridge was brand new.
Yeah, it looked really nice actually. The whole like pathway there looks really nice. And overall that area, like I'm a little disappointed. I'm not gonna lie that Log Flume is not open because this is supposed to be the weekend it opened. And
Yeah,
I think
what's the status with that in Congo Rapids?
it's pathetic. It really is. I'm not gonna lie. Like this is the weekend that's supposed to open and it's not open. Like
Unless it's opening on Memorial Day.
No way. It's missing
No,
a piece of
no.
track and the whole floorboards
The
on
whole
the station
floorboards are
like
ripped up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I saw Congo had water filled in the trough. So
no, that's just dirty water, and it's only in a part of the ride.
Oh.
Yeah.
Let's see. Moving on in the chat, I did see a couple things. I think Best of the West is great for adults who don't want to follow their kids around the park all day. That's true. It's a good spot for adults to go hang out.
Yeah. No, it's really
So
cool.
something I do want to mention is that they introduced like a ton of new events during the day, and it was completely done out of nowhere, honestly. Let me see if I can pull them up on the website here because I was like really surprised when I saw them. It's like nothing crazy, but like little, I guess, games and everything that are really cool. Like kind of surprising, honestly. I can't get them on my computer. Let me try to pull them on the app just so I can read them off. It was really just kind of unexpected. I didn't get to see any on Friday, but they had them on the weekends, and it seems like they're going to do it every weekend according to the app. So they have Alehouse Bar Trivia, Family Bingo,
I saw the
Granny
bingo.
PJs, the Great Adventure Scavenger Hunt, Pie Eating Contest, and Princess CST Party. The ones that catch my eye the most is the My Great Adventure Scavenger Hunt. That seems like it's probably really cool.
Yeah, and I think you win skip the lines.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Did you try it out?
I didn't, but I heard it was happening. I meant to go over there and I just forgot about it.
And then the Granny's PJ thing, it's a relay race inside of Granny's, which is interesting. I guess it's good for kids. The Family Bingo is inside Bugs Bunny National Park. I'm not sure how that works exactly. I haven't gotten to see it, obviously, but that's interesting. And then the Alehouse Bar Trivia, I'm curious what kind of trivia they have, if it's like Six Flags trivia or if it's just like regular, generic trivia. I'm not sure. But I think it's cool that they're doing like little things like this to just improve the atmosphere of the park. I think seeing stuff like that just happening around the park definitely makes it feel a little more lively and entertaining.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Ace, I think you're frozen. I can hear you, but I can't see you moving.
Just give me a second.
Oh, okay. Anyways,
Okay.
do you think Best of the West will become a coaster? No,
No.
definitely not. What ride do you think is missing in Great Adventure's lineup? There's two. A dueling coaster, whether it be a wooden coaster or a launch coaster, and then if not that, just a launch coaster that's not as intense as King Ka, that's more family oriented. And really just a wooden coaster too, honestly. Like a GCI or Gravity Group that's not El Toro. I think Great Adventure could definitely use one of those. Let's see. Is there an event at Great Adventure you want to bring back? The
Power
Glow
Hours.
Parade.
Power
The Glow
Hours.
Parade from back, I guess that must have been 2008. It was really, really cool. I have a video of it from when I was really young when I went there. And it was really, really cool. I think it'd be cool to see them bring it back. What'd you say, Austin?
Power Hours.
Well, yeah. I think Scream Break was kind of like soft Power Hours, where it wasn't like full Power Hours, but it still kind of felt like it, even though it was way too crowded to really be like Power
But
Hours.
that's the thing, is they got more people to come, and that was their idea.
Yeah.
So
I miss Power Hours. We have some of the best memories from Power Hours last
Power
couple
Hours
of
were
years.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, riding time
Hollywood
like
Nights,
20
Sammy?
times.
Sammy, did you hear me?
wait, what did you say? Sorry.
I said, you remember Hollywood Nights?
Oh my god, that was awesome. That was awesome. Well, we can't do that until Toro's back.
No, we gotta wait.
Yeah.
What was that? You rode Toro the hell out of Toro? That's what you mean by
We would
Colin?
Basically,
Do
that's all it was.
Hollywood chant on El Toro. Going
Yeah.
up
Oh.
the whole
Was I there
frame.
for that?
You probably were at
I
some
think
point.
so. Didn't we take videos of it? Like, didn't they help us take videos of it from the station?
People were
I
taking
think so.
videos of it.
Yeah.
I think I remember that. I think I was there for that.
Yeah, it was really cool. And then there was the one night, I can't remember when it was, but we were on Toro and it was super foggy. And every time Medusa's flames would come on, the whole
Yes.
sky just like lit up and everyone went
Dude.
wild every time it happened. It was so cool.
Those were literally the best Toro rides ever.
Super chat.
Oh, hold on, guys. We got a super chat. Hold on. Once it loads on, here we go. Thank you, John, for the super chat. I have 2 non-super chats in the chat. I'll go check those out in a second. Also, maybe they replace Skyway with a modern version of them. We talked about that a little earlier with the company that did Disney Skyliner, but it'd be very expensive. for
$5.5 million. That's a wild number.
Yeah. And let me look at John's other chats here. So next year, Universal could buy Time Warner from Discovery, and if that deal goes through, Universal would not own the DC Looney Tunes rights. Six Flags owns those rights, and they would have to buy the rights from Six Flags or buy Six Flags. I think they should look into maybe acquiring some other parks like Great Adventure. That's a lot to take in.
That's a huge possibility, but I don't necessarily like seeing that happen.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I think a major setback for that whole idea is the fact that a lot of the Six Flags parks don't meet the criteria of Universal parks and whatnot.
Mm-mm.
Like, especially like condition wise, like the state of the theming, the ride packages, like none of that stuff would ever interest a company like Universal. I don't think. I think if Six Flags were to ever get bought out by a company, and this is a major if, I
SeaWorld.
think SeaWorld would be the only company that
Exactly.
would ever even consider it. And I don't think SeaWorld would buy the entire chain. I think SeaWorld would take specific parks, and I would specifically state that SeaWorld would probably buy Great Adventure and Discovery Kingdom simply based off of the fact that they have animals in the park and stuff already and whatnot, and that's a big thing for SeaWorld.
Yep.
Definitely.
Other than that,
Yeah.
can't really like see SeaWorld going any further than that. So as far as Six Flags, I think we're stuck with the general company as it is now.
I think you may be right.
Yeah. No way for Universal. No way.
Something I did
Universal.
want to
Go ahead.
Something I did want to mention just about Six Flags in general, specifically Great Adventure. I'm sure you guys have kind of picked up on this as the season's been going on, but we're seeing like these little tiny additions, right? That seem to be with the goal of improving the park atmosphere. Like we have these little game show kind of things they're doing throughout the day. We have the red carpet out front with the diamond entrance and like different photo ops that are popping up. All of these things, I feel like they have the right intention, but I don't know if they're going all the way with the execution. I think they could be done a little better. Like, just for example, I saw today, I forget whose story it was on, but they added these new photo ops inside Bugs Bunny National Park. And it had like this thing where, like, you put hashtag Six Flags or whatever. And the backdrop was just like a random picture of, like, say, Niagara Falls or something with the Bugs Bunny logo slapped on top of it, which I just don't know if that's the route I would have gone with. I think they could have done something more related to the park as opposed to just like a random park from wherever in the world. Just
It's
little
also-
things like that I'm kind of picking up on that are just odd to me. Like, I see what they're trying to do, but I'm not sure that it's getting the message across, if you know what I mean.
It's also hard to take in the little additions when there's like all these problems around the park, like the Skyway not opening, Congo and Log Flume are still not open. We still have yet to see Toro open. Like, those are like the top things on our mind, and it just kind of brings those little things down.
That is true. That's definitely true. I mean, if you're a general public visitor, it doesn't matter if there's a new photo op or if there's a little red carpet you can walk down if one of the marquee attractions still isn't open, which I understand why it's not open, but that's something you have to look at from their perspective where they're like, well, we're paying more money now than we used to pay to get here, and there's not as much open. That's just another way you kind of have to look at it, unfortunately. Anyways, will Nitro be painted blue? Well, first they painted the trains. Then they painted the railings. I think we see where it's going. So I'm going to say, personally, I would rather see blue supports with gray track. I think it would be different from other coasters' color schemes that we've seen. Like, if they do blue track, gray supports, it looks like Orion.
Yeah.
Which has an excellent color scheme, but I think it'd be cool if they inverted it just to make it look different. And I think it'd still look just as good. I don't know
agree.
of many gray track coasters out there.
I agree, and I also agree on that simply because of the fact that the light blue trains would contrast well with the gray track and the darker blue supports.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the gray idea. Batman used to be gray when it first opened up in '93.
Well, it's black.
Like a grayish black.
More black than gray, I'd say. And
Yeah,
it was
that's
all
still
black.
gray.
It was all gray. So it didn't have that contrast like Nitro will.
I would love to see like black supports and then gray track with blue rails.
That would be cool, but anything painted black is just a heat magnet, like Velocicoaster, for example. You should see just streaks of blue along the running rails, and they constantly burn through wheels because the track is so hot, in addition to all the stress that the Intamin trains are putting on the track. So it kind of doesn't work out very well.
Yeah, black's not going to work out.
Here's a question for you guys. If they do repaint Nitro like that, do you think they'll upgrade the lighting package to it?
Does it have a lighting package?
I mean, it's got lift hill lights, but I'm saying, like, do
Oh,
you
you
think
mean
they
like
might go the
Orion
route?
style, right?
Yeah, something like that. You think they might do something like that to it, or?
They said
I
lawn
think I'd rather
decorations.
see them invest money in making the Q better, because I think we
Yeah.
all know Nitro's Q is probably one of the worst ones out there. I think that's just universally known. So I would like to see them beautify it a little more, maybe make it indoor and give it theming. Because if they make it indoor, no longer does it look ugly because there's nothing ugly to see. It's all theming in
Right.
there. So I think that'd be a good route to go.
I mean, hey, let's see.
I do think lighting would be cool. What'd you say, Sammy?
Let's see with the new park president what kind of shots he calls.
Yeah. I mean,
I've-
John
I've-
Winkler was an excellent park president. Everything he called the shots for was really, really cool. So I hope the new park president can live up to John. Thoughts on the Build-A-Bear? I thought it was a random choice, but it's nice to see outside companies come back into the park. I'm still trying to figure out why they did it. To me, like, I know I'm not the target demographic anymore, obviously, but even if I was a parent, I don't see myself taking my kid to a Six Flags park for them to build a bear like they can do at their local mall. And there's nothing, when I went in Build-A-Bear, there's nothing inside of there that's different than what you can get at other Build-A-Bears. I have heard that they're going to introduce like employee outfits and stuff like that, which I think would be really cool. I would probably get myself a Build-A-Bear that has a Six Flags uniform on. But I'm still not sure about that whole idea. I mean, granted, it's kind of like how I don't understand why people go to a park to play games and carry around big toys when you're going to go ride rides. What are you going to do with them when you?
I don't get the bringing infants to parks thing.
That too.
That's the one thing that I see all the time at Cedar Point. And I'm like, I don't get it.
Although when I was in Build-A-Bear, there was a lot of people in there. So maybe I'm just not the target demographic. Maybe it is going to be successful. I'm not sure. But something to note about Build-A-Bear is that membership discounts do not work there since it's an outside vendor. Same thing with Quick Six. It's an outside company doing that. So you can't use member discounts in there.
I have a question to touch base on this. Do you guys think now that they're bringing outside companies back within the chain that they might go back to like advertising their coaster cars with like outside company wraps and stuff like that?
I'm going to say no, because that completely contradicts Salim's vision for a more premium experience. I think just slapping, a random ad on a coaster without like proper integration, like at Disney, for example, is not a good look.
You didn't like
Rob, I know where you're going.
the Takis boomerang at Fiesta, Texas?
No.
That thing is rough. And then the got to be glued ads stapled all over King Ka. Those are ridiculous.
They were bad on Screen Machine too.
Didn't Toro have one full train wrapped?
Kia Train. Kia Train's gone this year, thankfully.
And before it was the Kia Train. It was the Rainbow Stride Gum Train, which was really ugly. That was probably the ugliest.
Of all things to get to sponsor you, that was what they had.
Yep.
Dude, I'm not even kidding you. The Stride Gum Train was probably the ugliest roller coaster train I've ever seen.
It was very funny.
Did we lose our host?
I think so. I think Colin.
Wow, our host is vanquished.
Oops.
Oh my God, there you go.
Oh, we're gonna talk crap
wrong
on it.
button.
Just talking bad about you.
Hang on, let me pull up the Stride Gum El Toro train.
Yeah, it was so bad, dude.
Very funny. I always thought it was like supposed to be like, I guess almost like Fiesta themed, just the way it looked, because the colors are like really vibrant and kind of like ridiculous looking, but it fits in with the Mexican theme of, with like bright colors for their culture and everything. But I guess that's not what it was for, obviously. Let's see. There we go. There you go.
Holy hell.
Yeah, it was just.
Oh man,
it was a travesty.
Brutal.
Oh boy,
this is like the damn boomerang at Hershey Park. Like what?
Jesus Christ, the damn thing looks hideous. Wow, I didn't
Yeah,
realize how hideous it was until today.
It looks
Oh
like
my God,
a unicorn bar from El Toro.
what in the world?
And it's so funny because from off ride, it just looks like it's like full on like Mexican Fiesta theme. That's what it looked like. But then you go up to it and you're like, what is this?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was not El Toro's best appearance.
I agree. That was rough looking at that. Not gonna lie.
And they had the same advertisements on what's it called? Shockwave at Great America too.
There was a time where they only had the front car as that, and then the rest of the cars were not.
I mean, that would still probably look stupid.
Yeah.
Although I do think Kia Train looks better than that did. Kia Train at least looked all right. I mean,
It didn't match the theme.
what, Kia Train?
Yeah.
Well, we know that.
Cars
Here,
racing on El Toro.
let me throw it back up here. There we go. There's Kia Train. I mean, it didn't look horrible, but like that darker wood color is much nicer looking than a red Kia Soul.
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny with the theme of the ride that you're like riding or taming a bull, but then one of the trains is just a car.
Yeah.
I hope they put in theming this year. Like storyboards.
What?
I hope they put in like theming or like at least storyboards in the queue.
What, for El Toro?
That'd be cool.
I don't know about that. Yes, the Twix I'll get down to that in a little bit. The only rapping on a train I didn't mind was when they did the one for I believe it was Cancer on Runaway Mine Train with all the handprints. I remember John Winkler telling us that they gave them like an extra year or something on it too, just because they wanted to be nice since
They
it
still
was
have it.
a good cause. It is still on there?
Yeah, no, it's still there.
Wait, really?
Yeah, well, the other train still has it. I saw it today.
Wow. I didn't think it would keep it on that long.
I mean, I guess it's cool though. Like, I think that's unique, and not a lot of parks do that
Yeah.
because those are actual handprints.
Mm-hmm. All right. What rides at Six Flags Great Adventure are going to be closed for some time? I'm going on Thursday and want to know what to expect. If you're going on Thursday, El Toro, Skyway, Houdini's Swashbuckler, Log Flume more than likely, and Congo Rapids more than likely. And Little Devil.
You may get lucky with Congo because the train.
Little Devil is closed until summer for some reason.
Wait, why is Swashbuckler closed?
I'm not sure, but I haven't seen it open all year.
Wait, which ride Swashbuckler again?
It's the Roundup.
Oh, that was open today. That was open today.
It was open today?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Because it's been closed all season.
I watched it go. Like, I literally, there was a huge line for it.
Well, I guess that's open.
Colin, it was open the day that me, you, and Matt were there.
It was?
Yeah, I think so. We walked by and I'm pretty sure I saw it running.
I guess I didn't even notice then.
I rode Jolly Roger today for the first time in 7 years.
How was that?
It was actually pretty good, I'm not going to
lie. Let's see. During my trip yesterday, there was a ton of Bizarro paint showing. Is that true on Medusa?
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah.
Dude, and honestly, Colin, I'm going to say right now, if the same company who painted Medusa is doing Nitro, it's not looking good.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I'm pretty sure they're bringing in Bainham for Nitro.
I hope so.
I think it was literally just the paint that they used on Medusa. Like, it looks like it just looks so bad. I'm sorry, it just looks so bad.
I still think with Medusa, what they should have done for starters is power wash the track, the end supports, because that's the only way you're going to get paint to stick, by completely clearing off what you have on there. Then they should have, I think the green track is cool. I still would have preferred them to just keep it purple or go back to yellow. But I think even with green track, they should have kept purple supports, because the purple supports and green track mesh so much nicer than what it is now. And even the blue track and orange supports look better than what it is now. I remember seeing that while it was mid paint job, and I was like, that just looks so much better than what it's going to wind up being.
You got another super chat.
John, thank you for the super chat. Let me let my StreamYard refresh. There we go. Is there any park that features a ride/coasters queue, almost like a scare maze? I also think Villains and Monsters theme would fit a Great Adventure. Walking Dead the ride. I think it's Thorpe. Is it Thorpe Park?
Mummy at Universal used to have like people walking around like crazy, jumping out of people and stuff. I don't think they do it anymore though.
I know for sure that Walking Dead the ride had scare actors. I don't know if it was just for opening year, but it definitely had scare actors.
I wonder if
and of course, Saw the ride is also.
Yeah, I wonder if the new Universal Monsters ride is going to have that,
or it's going to be family oriented, because it has a family spinning coaster in the land for Epic Universe. So maybe it's just going to be family oriented.
I thought Family Spinning Coaster was like the Donkey Kong ride, though.
No, the Donkey Kong ride is just a hop the tracks roller coaster.
Oh, okay.
The Monsters one is a spinning coaster in the middle of the land. It wasn't originally supposed to be built, but I guess it got added last minute. Let's see, where were we? There we go. Did they slow down King Ka? It's not that they're slowing King Ka down. It's just that the launch and the sensors are recognizing that it doesn't need to be launched as fast as it used to, just with wind and everything. It's still random. I mean, you can still get a ridiculously fast ride every now and then. It's just all up to the sensors and the system itself. But I have noticed it's not running as fast over the top hat as it did.
Me and Austin had
It's
it
still
awesome.
amazing.
Yeah, we got lucky today, and we got on it like right after it broke down, so we got a boosted
Yeah, there you go.
ride. It was
Awesome.
great, freaking great. And the ejector over the top hat was fantastic.
It was similar to Shadow Stalker.
Oh yeah, speaking of Shadow Stalker, we haven't talked about it on the stream.
Oh,
For those
yeah.
of you unaware, Sammy officially opened his backyard roller coaster, Shadow Stalker. I helped him organize the media day we held for it a week and a day ago on the 20th. We had a lot of really cool people there. It was an awesome day.
That was
I know
awesome.
Austin got to ride it that day as well.
The day
The
before.
day before, yeah.
The day before.
Yeah. Sorry.
It's a cool ride, really cool event. If you do want to ride it, I've said it in the last video, message Sammy on Instagram. It's linked in the description. You can get a chance
If you don't
to
know
ride.
who I am, you can also message Colin and he'll direct you my way.
That works too. I'll send you his way. Anyways, moving on.
Wait, when is the news coming, Sammy?
Wednesday. We didn't talk about that actually.
Yes, well, stay tuned on News 12 if you happen to have Optimum in New Jersey, and you might see Sammy's coaster on there later in the week.
And maybe an
Wow.
interview with me and Colin.
That's crazy.
Maybe. Let's see. Moving on. What do you think about Kids Boo Fest? I think it's good. Last year it was done very well. They had the haunted hayride. Well, not so haunted hayride. It was really fun. It was just a really good event for kids. Obviously, it doesn't pertain to us at all, but if you're a parent with like a young kid, no older than like 6 years old, I think it's definitely something good for them. Ace, why do you think Aeroforce One isn't that good?
It's the second half. I have to concur with Darius. That first half is, and I'm sure you're going to concur with me on this one, Austin, was the best part. That first drop was great, and that first inversion. I like the first half. Just as good as any other RMC coaster, but the second half, a little bit too intense. It tears your legs off. I didn't appreciate that. Probably would have voted 10 times, but by the time I got off that thing, I could barely walk when I left Aeroforce. So yeah, I don't know how you felt about the legs, Austin, with the intensity. Like the first one, literally like crushed your groin and your legs. It was extremely intense, like the last parts of it.
I didn't have that issue, to be honest with you. I rode it 6 times in a row, and we like didn't get off the train like at all. And I was, I had a little bit of a soreness in my thighs, but it wasn't like to the extent that you're saying. I think my only negative with Aeroforce One is how short the brake run is. Because coming into the brake run and stopping suddenly like that is pretty
exactly.
That's annoying.
It is annoying.
If you're not careful, and I mean this in the nicest way, if you're not careful with the way your head is positioned, and if you're in the back of the train, you might actually like hit your head on a train. So Like, the abruptness of that stopping is insane. But other than that, I love the second half. I think the arcade roll is amazing. I think the turn into the second 0G roll is absolutely phenomenal. The quad down, honestly, I prefer it over lightning rods, and I thought the quad down on Aeroforce One was better than Steel Vengeance's ending. So
yeah, it's an overall good coaster. Y'all guys are gonna love it. But yeah, that last part of the ride, it does kind of, if you caught by off guard, you're thrown literally. Like you have to brace yourself.
It looks wild, that's for sure.
It is very wild, absolutely,
amazing
especially the second half.
it's amazing.
Yeah, it's very wild.
I went to Hurricane. Oh, that's right, Hurricane Harbor opened. I forgot. Hurricane Harbor Saturday. I think they're doing a great job. Everything was open, added new improvements. I actually got to go over there because they have all the new slides. But something I noticed on the park map for Hurricane Harbor is that all those new slides, you cannot be over 54 inches to ride. So not exactly happy about that, especially for the larger ones like the Wave Slide and the Mini Tornado. I mean, I think people taller than 54 inches should be able to ride those. They're like family thrill slides, not necessarily kid slides. So I don't know that I'm too happy about that, but it is good that they have that addition now. All right, Austin, why do you think Aeroforce is that good? I think you kind of answered it, but go ahead.
Personally, Aeroforce One is the full package. Anything that you could ever imagine on RMC, Aeroforce One has it, and more honestly, because when you ride RMC creations, you don't really expect a whole lot in terms of positive G forces, really, because most of those rides are based on like airtime, and Aeroforce One has a good balance of both. I think it has incredible airtime moments, but I also think it has really incredible intense moments, especially turning into that last inversion before quad down. I was semi-graying out on that, and like that's something that I've never really experienced on an RMC before. Even Gwazi, like Gwazi has great pacing, but the elements aren't tight enough for you to really feel the G forces that you get on Aeroforce One, so you don't really get that intensity on Gwazi. But Aeroforce One, man, I'm telling you, people are hyping it up, and you wouldn't expect it to be that good, but it really is, and it is a little bit better than I expected it to be even. So don't knock it till you try it. It's my number 4 overall and my number 2 RMC.
Awesome.
So, excuse me, you like it better than Vengeance?
Oh yeah, I have several RMCs over Vengeance.
Oh wow, yeah, that second half kind of like really dilutes the rides as far as I'm concerned on Vengeance. That's why Iron Gwazi is better than Vengeance.
I think Vengeance right now is my 6th ranked RMC. I have Lightning Rod, Storm Chaser, Twisted Timbers, Aeroforce One, and Iron Gwazi over it.
Oh, have you done Twisted Colossus?
No, I haven't been to
Oh,
California.
you're gonna love Twisted Colossus. That's up there.
Yeah,
That's one of the
really
best
fun.
ones. Yeah, it's as good as any one of them outside of Gwazi.
All right, next up. There's always no line for Zumanjaro. Such an underrated ride. I did a marathon on it, and there was no wait. It's almost guaranteed to have no more than a 10-minute wait every time you go back there.
I
It's
waited
crazy
15
that it's still like that. What was that, Sammy?
I waited 15 minutes today. You're wrong, Colin.
Ugh. When I went on Friday, it was no more than 10 minutes. Let's see. What's up, Brady? Hope you've been doing well. I've been doing pretty good myself. They should make a family coaster like the Chiller, but not as intense. I mean, if you're going to make something like the Chiller, you might as well go all the way.
Yeah, honestly,
Yeah.
I can't see how they would execute that.
You
Isn't
can't
that
make
kind of
something
what
with a
Koba
top
does?
hat not be thrilling.
No.
Like even Icebreaker, that was never going to be a family coaster.
Well, it
Yeah,
was.
No, it's
Well,
supposed to be, but it isn't.
With that layout, it was never going to pull that off. I mean, here's a question for you guys, actually. Do you consider a coaster with a 48-inch height requirement a family coaster? Because
No.
I don't.
No.
No.
There's plenty of like, especially older wooden coasters that are 48 that I would never consider a family coaster for, especially.
Because, like, they consider Verbolten a family coaster.
No.
Yeah, it's
Which
far from it.
it's not really a family coaster, but it's not a thrill coaster either. It's somewhere in the middle.
A little bit of both.
Let me give my opinion on this. I just rode Big Bear Mountain last weekend, and I think that is the perfect example of how far you can go as a family coaster. I think Big Bear Mountain is exactly what a family coaster should be and what it should be defined as. Because as far as forces go, there's not a whole lot of intense forces and there's not a whole lot of airtime. The launches have a good bite to them and the layout is really long. It's just pure fun. And I don't think anybody would walk up to that ride and be intimidated by it. But I don't think anybody riding that would come off of it and be disappointed either.
Yeah, it's definitely underrated. As far as my 3 rides on it, I have to say I was really pleased from my perspective, especially
Yeah.
for the family. Everybody came off
I was
that
very
ride
impressed.
ecstatic. It was one hell of a ride, and it's actually faster than what it lets on.
Yeah.
It's really impressive. All you guys are like Big Bear Mountain.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent family coaster, quintessential family coaster.
And when I think more about it too, there's a lot of coasters. Like there's motorbike coasters out there with a 48-inch height requirement, and those are supposed to be full-on family coasters, and then they're not.
Mm-hmm.
And you have rides like El Toro, X2, Wildcat's Revenge, Iron Gwazi, 48 inches, and you're on.
Is X2
Like,
48?
According to someone that just put that in the comments. I don't know about that though. I feel like
thought it
that
was
should be
54
54.
when I went, but maybe I'm wrong.
Let me look. Now I'm really curious. All the way down here. It's 48.
Wow.
Wow. That's surprising. Be a little tiny kid and get on that. That's mind blowing.
Just like you got on it really young.
Toro.
Yeah, you got your first El Toro ride out like by 10. You was 10 years old.
6.
Wow.
Yeah. I was 7 or 8 when I rode El Toro for the first time.
Wow. Yeah, I was 26.
I was like,
fun fact,
5 or
I
6.
did El Toro Media Day.
Yeah, and you're in the videos too, right?
Yeah, I'm in the safety video. I'll have to find it and send it to you guys. But
Well, I remember I was watching a video from Media Day, and I saw you there with your mom. I was like,
yeah, I think weren't you the one that DM'd me the video and were like, isn't this you and your
was, yeah.
mom? Yeah, I think yeah.
All right,
Maybe Austin.
Velocicoaster or Iron Gwazi, and why? We'll let Ace start.
Well, obviously, mine is very, very simple and concrete. I did Velocicoaster first, months after it opened in October 2021. And it was damn near rivaling Still Vintage at the time as the 1.8 Avengers. And great ride. But once Iron Gwazi came, I said to myself, I don't have to go back to Universal in 22 or 23 until Epic Universes opens up. And Iron Gwazi has all the pretty much a lot of elements on Velocicoaster, but better. It's like Velocicoaster. I mean, Iron Gwazi is just the total package. And you can't beat that. I just got off of Iron Gwazi. Like, wow, it just gets better and better and better. It was actually, the train was heated up nicely by the afternoon, by like my last ride at 4:30. So yeah, Iron Gwazi, no doubt about it. That's just an easy call over Velocicoaster.
Bob, what do you think?
I actually like Velocicoaster better, but that's more of a preference thing. I think, like, for me, like, I love the whole package of like the theming and everything else that went with it. Plus, like, it just has kind of everything I like about coasters with the different launches and things and the forces and stuff like that. Iron Gwazi is incredible. Don't get me wrong. For me, I just like Velocicoaster just a little bit better.
So, Sammy, you haven't ridden both, right?
I haven't ridden either.
Austin, you've ridden both, right?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Great.
I'm Team Velocicoaster. Personally, Iron Gwazi is an absolutely incredible coaster, and it and Velocicoaster are like neck and neck. But I have a slight preference to Velocicoaster simply because I feel like it has more balance. You can get pretty insane airtime on Velocicoaster, same way that you can get it on Iron Gwazi. But I just think Velocicoaster in general just has more of a variety. Plus, you can't beat that Mosasaurus roll. I'm sorry. That's easily the best inversion I've ever experienced.
That's fair. So I have Iron Gwazi here and Velocicoaster here. Iron Gwazi is my number 1. Velocicoaster is my number 2. It is ridiculously close. And I think what did push Iron Gwazi over the edge for me was the fact that I rode it like 34 times in 24 hours. And I got a really good feel for it. And just the fact that I could get on Iron Gwazi and just keep going and going and going and going. Whereas Velocicoaster, I'm going to wait 30 minutes for one ride, have to put all my stuff in a locker too, not necessarily get guaranteed seat selection, and then get off, get my stuff, go back around. It's a whole process, but that process leads to one of the best themed coasters I know of. The theming in the queue is spectacular, and even during the ride for a thrill coaster, it's unbelievable what they were able to do. Gwazi, of course, doesn't have that, but Gwazi overall, from start to finish, is probably just one of the most relentless and the greatest coaster layouts I've ever experienced. Whereas Velocicoaster, the first half, when you're doing those turns after that airtime hill, especially during that dud airtime hill where it kind of twists out and then twists back in, it doesn't do anything. And you do have that little dead section on Velocicoaster, which knocks it down a couple pegs for me personally. But of course, you have the theming, the second half, which is just perfect. So they're really close rides, but I do take Iron Gwazi by a slight bit. Also, Gwazi is smoother. Even though I rode Velocicoaster literally like 2 months after it opened, it had a slight rattle in certain seats, which I think could get more pronounced as time goes on, just depending on how the ride ages.
Yeah. And the great thing about SeaWorld's Iron Gwazi is that the fact that we all have passes. I know you and I, Colin, have a pass, a platinum pass to go to all those parks, and you can't go to Universal all the time to get on the Great Velocicoaster. Had Velocicoaster been like, let's say, cheap as SeaWorld, then I would have it even higher. But it's not a coaster that you can go to every second. Like Iron Gwazi, I can go to every year easily.
Right.
That's another reason why I like Iron Gwazi over Velocicoaster. Of course, Velocicoaster's theming is great and rivals Hagrid's, no doubt about it. That's what makes that coaster special.
Right. Let's see. Next up, Power Hours was a super amazing event that I wanted to stay at the park empty more. I agree.
Ooh, can I ask a question? I have a good question.
What?
Would you like out of everyone here? Like, we've all been on Nitro, obviously, because we know there's gonna be stuff done next year. What would you like to see added, removed, or make a comeback for next year when they redo it and do add stuff to it?
Vertical loop.
Okay, well, not to the layout. Geez, realistically,
I think that the mid-course brake run, trimming the trains to no lower than 35, 40 miles per hour.
that would be cool.
I mean, that's probably a bit much. I want the ride to run at the end of the ride to a point where you get full-on ejector in every seat on every hill. Not where it's like ridiculous, but to the point where it's like, wow, this is really good. Because if Nitro turned its trims off when it's running at full speed, it immediately moves into like the top 2 of Great Adventure.
Oh yeah,
in my opinion.
Yeah,
and just the fact that it doesn't do that, it's only number 4 for me.
Yeah,
that's what makes Goliath. That's what makes the B&M Goliath at over Georgia so great and exquisite. That damn constant ejector airtime. Oh my God!
Don't ejector on that ride. I don't care what anyone tells me.
Goliath blew me away, dude.
Hold up, Colin. You said ejector?
Oh, Goliath is full-blown ejector airtime.
Of course it's full-blown ejector. Oh my God.
When I rode Goliath last weekend, my first impression of that finale was literally like, this is B&M's version of an RMC airtime.
Yep.
Like, that's what it felt like to me. It felt like RMC airtime on a B&M Hyper. Like, not even kidding. I was flying. Like, it was straight on ejector, like Colin was saying. He's not kidding.
And that ride, like, I don't know how it went so, like, under talked about for so many years. No one ever really, like, went crazy for it. I mean, granted, it is a very rough B&M Hyper. It's definitely the roughest one I've been on. But I don't care because it's not painful and ridiculous airtime on it.
I had absolutely terrible rides on it. Horrendous. But it was also, like, 55 degrees and raining all day when I was there riding it. So, I mean, that's my only experience with it. But, yeah, mine were terrible.
You got to get back down there.
Yeah, the reason why that park... What happened?
Go ahead.
Just saying Bob should give it another chance. That's all.
Oh, I will. When I eventually get back there, but I'm not in a huge hurry to go to Six Flags Over Georgia either because it's like... I've had the shittiest, like, experience of any Six Flags parks.
You just took the words out of my mouth.
Like, every time I go there, it's like a terrible experience for whatever reason.
Yeah, that's the reason why it doesn't get the press because of the bad press of Atlanta, and all of our experiences. We've heard about how Six Flags Over Georgia is. Of course, it's an excellent theme park, but that bad press really takes away from the Goliath itself as a great coaster.
I'm probably the only one that's consistently had really good experiences. I mean, I've only been there once. My dad's been there twice. And, of course, we were guided around by the PR team so we could do on-ride filming. And they're awesome. Deidre and Hannah and everyone that's there are really, really great people, Jamie. But I never had like a bad experience during my whole day there. I mean, it was very dead and everything was open, so that probably helped. But I thought it was a really, really nice looking park. And overall, I just had a great time there.
Yeah, no. Don't get me wrong. I'm just going by Colin and guys. I'm just going by what everybody else has said. I don't give a damn what they say. Since 10 years exactly to the day, 2013 was the first time I went to over Georgia, and every year I've gone, the Goliath has always been hands down number one, even with the new twisted Cyclone. Yeah, Goliath has always given me great rides. One of my favorite hypers, always will be, but definitely my favorite now. So never had any bad experience. I don't care about the incidents. It definitely never detracted from the great coaster rides I've gotten throughout that whole park.
Also, random aside here, I don't know how many of you guys are in like the Hershey Park connoisseur groups and everything on Facebook, but all I've been seeing all day today and yesterday is people saying, "Oh, I found Blink at the park. I found Blink at the park. Look at
Yeah,
this picture of Travis."
apparently Travis
All
Barker was
day.
running around there. Yeah.
I mean, there was a giant concert there, I think, last night.
Last
for
night, yeah.
Blink-182.
Ryan was there last night. I saw it
Yeah.
on his Instagram stories.
But it's just like overrunning my Facebook feed. It's like, oh my God. Anyways, though, next question we got here. Colin, will you be at Seaside Screams with James this year? I would like to go to Seaside Screams. That is like one of the most consistently just great events by American coaster enthusiasts. I've been there, I think, every year, at least either Seaside Screams or Seaside Hangover. I always go to one of the two every year since like 2018 or 2019. It's a really, really great event. So I'm definitely hoping to get there. Do you think Wildcat's Revenge and Dorney Park's Project 2024 will give Great Adventure the healthy competition they need to finally build their next big great coaster? I'm really conflicted about this because on one hand, if this was leadership different from what it is right now, absolutely. They'd be like, all right, we need to get going on this and get something huge in the park. But with Salim at the helm, I'm just not sure if that's the direction they're going in. I don't know if they're really interested in getting these big new coasters because we see what they're doing this year. They're obviously spending a decent amount of money on these constant changes with smaller additions, like say a red carpet or a VIP lounge or different things like that. So I'm really not sure if under this current management, that's their goal right now. What do you guys think?
Personally, I don't think that Wildcat's Revenge and Dorney's Project is really going to give Great Adventure the push to build a great coaster. Only reason I'm saying this is because I think with the vision that's been projected for the company, I think the surrounding parks and the competition they have to offer doesn't really phase like Salim and his vision. I think what he's trying to aim for, especially for like the bigger Six Flags parks, is completely different than what Hershey or Dorney has to offer. So I don't really see that being an issue. I think Salim at the end of the day is going to do what he feels is perfect for his vision of the park, and it's not going to matter what Hershey or Dorney has to add to their additions.
Right. Sammy's in a really funny pose right now. Oh, he's back.
Oh, sorry. My turn?
Yeah, your turn.
I was thinking about this the other day. I think when people say competition, it's more just competition between the parks. Because when you really think about it, GP they're not going to be like, if they're closer to Great Adventure, they're not going to be like, oh, now we're going to Dorney because they got a new coaster. That coaster's only new for 1 year when you really think about it. And then besides for that, like, they're still going to be improving the parks. The only people that, like, when you say, like, oh, people are going to start going there, is the coaster enthusiasts. At the end of the day, Colin, are you really going to start going to Dorney when they get a new coaster over Great Adventure?
I mean, I'll go more often, but I'm not going to go there as opposed to Great Adventure.
Exactly. So it's like, and then when you have people come like into the area, they're still going to Dorney and they're like, oh, we're close to Great Adventure. Why not hit that too?
Yeah.
So it's almost better when other parks around them get new coasters because then they're gonna try to tie in the trip.
That
exactly.
is true.
Ace, Bob, what do you guys think?
I'm not sure that Great Adventure looks at them as competition, honestly. Like you were just saying about the like bringing everybody together to the air. Because remember when we were at Coaster Madness, even like Mike Fennell was talking about how they all get together, all the Pennsylvania parks, to talk about stuff every year, and obviously not like secrets of what they're doing, but like security things and how are they improving their parks, like in that regard and things like that. So I don't think that is driving Great Adventure to do anything at all. Like, I don't think that's the thing. And I honestly think that they're going to do a kind of a Cedar Point type thing and like blow out the 50th anniversary celebration, but not with some monster new coaster or anything like that.
Right.
Yeah, I concur with all you guys. Great Adventures don't really care about that. They have their own situations to think about, and they're pretty much good the way they are. So no competition on their end from Donnie or Hershey as far as they're concerned.
See, I think that all the parks, they just benefit from one another. If one builds a new coaster, it's going to bring traffic to all of them at the end of the day. So it's not like they're really competing with each other when they're this close together, because it's just going to help them all in the end.
Yeah. It's like lowering the prices at having a, at ShopRite and Stop and Shop, and we're all going to benefit as customers. I could see that. We're going to all benefit from all the new coasters, just like what SeaWorld has been doing, obviously, which has been a great thing. Universal versus SeaWorld, and it's helped us a lot immensely with Gwazi and Velocicoaster, for example.
Right.
So yeah, I could see that.
All right, next up, with no Silver Vines event this year, is there a chance that there could be a big 50th anniversary event that takes place to announce a new coaster for next year and showcase theater this year? This is what I can say. The 50th anniversary celebration, whether it includes a coaster or not, is one of the biggest expenses the park has ever put forward. They're spending tons of money on all of the 50th stuff next year. I can't disclose anything, of course, and quite frankly, I don't know enough to say anything anyway, but what they're doing next year, again, coaster or not, is going to be huge. I'm predicting giant fireworks shows, giant festivals, complete overhauls to areas of the park, maybe a new coaster. We're going to have to really see about that. But I think the park will be better than it ever has been come next year for the 50th anniversary. And I think that's even what John Winkler's goal was. He always told us, even back in like 2020 before Jersey Devil opened, that his goal is to make the park the best it's ever been by 2024 for the 50th anniversary, to make it huge and a giant celebration. And while he's not here anymore, I think that vision is still going forward. And whether or not a coaster was originally part of that vision, I'm not sure. But at the end of the day, it's going to be a great year next year. And while this year there's kind of some growing pains, of course, as there is every year, I think it's really going to pay off by the time we get to 2024.
What's one thing you'd like to see them do, though?
I'd like to see the areas of the park that I don't like the boardwalk, get totally renovated. And from what I'm hearing, that might be happening. I think just in general, make the park look better than it ever has. Take areas of the park that are empty or aren't being used or need help and give it to them.
Yeah,
that's just what I think.
It's like Great Adventure just kind of like boring. Like they don't. You're like your DC area and all that, just like all the Six Flags parks have, but it's just like it's very like I don't know how to even put it in words. Like I guess generic. Like old and generic looking. Yeah, it's like you're 100% right. Like they need to work on like infrastructure and beautification improvement type things. Like that would make such a world of difference.
I feel like with the exception of Frontier Adventures, Plaza del Carnival, and Golden Kingdom, and Metropolis, the entire park just looks the same.
Yeah, I agree.
I would love them to like bring back the old cock queue, whether that like obviously not the second station, but just like all like that theming that they had. Same with the Skull Mountain. When the Skull Mountain used to look awesome.
Skull Mountain definitely is in need of refurbishment, if you ask me.
Yeah, I think I just kind of like whether they add a new flat ride or not, like because obviously it's not going to be a coaster. I think they should really just almost just take every roller coaster or every ride and just give it what it needs. Like bring it back to its glory days.
Yeah, I agree.
Personally, I think something that I'd really like to see happen for 50th anniversary is I think they should repave a lot of the park. Honestly, there's so many mixed like materials used in the pathways of the park. Like I think a lot of areas look pretty bad. I think a whole repave could really do wonders for the park.
Yeah, definitely. New concrete, new pavers.
Yeah, not just the park, but also the parking lot needs that also.
The entire entrance needs assistance. Like, for me, I know all the ins and outs. Like I know how to get through it as quick as possible, but navigating around that is it's not fun. Just for example, right? Driving into the park, the lanes, there's 3 lanes, and those lanes are so narrow. I'm constantly stressed out that someone in the middle lane is going to rear over and hit me because going through those turns, it's very tight. And I have a small car, and it's still very difficult to stay inside those lanes.
Oh yeah.
And you of course have like the one lane all the way to the left that's nice and smooth over the speed bumps. You don't even have to slow down, and then like it cuts off, and the lanes just jar all over the place. It's a bit of a production, and I think it'd be nice to see it more streamlined and made easier, cut down on traffic, of course, and accidents that might happen. So I think that'd be nice to see.
You know, the one thing where I'm like,
Yeah.
What were you saying?
I was just gonna say the one thing that, like, if they were gonna do anything next year, the one thing I want to see them do is take out that building that separates the boardwalk area into.
Oh, the paintball building. Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
I don't know if they will.
What?
I don't think they will, because supposedly they use it for storage. I don't know why you need storage right there, but supposedly they can't really
move it anywhere else.
I know. I think it should be opened up and just make it a nice giant midway straight to El Toro. But
how many stupid boxes are in there? Like, come on.
I know. Our Nitros back 2 rows open now. They are. I don't know why they were closed, but they're open now. And the D train is back on the track. So there's now 3 trains running. Although D train, I'm not sure that it's really the best train to ride on, because it's not as smooth as the other two. And the other two are running pretty much just as fast as D train now. So it's still nice to have a brand new train, of course.
Yeah.
Let's see. Hello, Mark. Yes, I'm a sadistic happy camper. Glad to see that someone is standing up to Todd Joseph, a.k.a. public enemy #1. The owner of Hotel Conneaut is suing Todd Joseph.
Good.
Todd Joseph is a total piece of garbage.
Scumbag,
I have no respect for him, and I hope he loses everything he has.
Yeah, what a scumbag.
He's the one that burnt down one of the most historic coasters in the world and tried to frame it on, I think it was just natural causes he tried to call it, which...
Well, no, they were doing other construction, and he tried to blame it off on that, I'm pretty sure.
Although, for legal reasons, I have to say that everything I'm saying is not being held up in a court of law or anything.
Yeah.
I'm not accusing anyone of anything, but I'm just speaking from what we know. Let's see. What do you think the best ride at Great Adventure is? El Toro. I think that's pretty universal.
Yeah.
If you mean non-coaster, that's where it gets tough. I'd say it's kind of a tie between Zumanjaro, Justice League, and Wonder Woman. But don't sleep on Daredevil Dive and Slingshot either. Let's see. Did El Toro open on Memorial Day? No.
Well, Memorial Day is tomorrow, so we'll have to wait and see.
Well, yeah. That's true. The Stride Gum advertisement looked ridiculous. Yes, it did. Very ridiculous. What's the latest news on the Rita's and Six Below situation? Rita's on the boardwalk is open. Six Below is not open yet. I'm not sure when it's going to open.
In 3 weeks, they said.
Who's they?
That when I was talking to the employee over there.
Okay.
Over at the Thrill to Fill thing.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, they said by 4th of July.
I'm afraid that Runaway Mine Train Medusa Live will be closed again. All right. I'm going to shut this down now because supposedly Great Adventure, in terms of staff, is doing better than they have in a very long time. From what I've heard, they're well over 100%, at least in operations of rides. And I believe food as well. So they're beyond capable of keeping everything open. I'm sure you guys have noticed on your trips to the park that on the coasters, they're going full-blown, just crazy operations. They're doing 4 people checking one train, at least on Nitro. They have 2 people for each side of the front half of the train and then 2 people for each side of the back half of the train. They're doing the same thing on Batman, pretty much the same way Dorney Park does it. I noticed they do it on all their coasters too. So very cool to see that they're doing that, which is going to make operations better and lines move faster.
And your boy's going to be helping out this summer.
What ride you getting? Do you not know yet?
I don't know yet.
Let's see. How do you think Wildcat's Revenge will stack up and rank amongst the coasters of Great Adventure? When you combine both lineups, it will be top 3.
I was going to say it would be behind Toro and Ka, but I think it would be right there.
No, Toro and Skyrush.
Oh, we're talking everything.
Yes, everything.
I think the question was just asking how to stack up against the coasters of Great Adventure.
No,
Not like
I'm saying when you combine Great
I gotcha.
Adventure
Yeah,
coasters
yeah, I
and
see what
Hershey's
you mean.
coasters, it's top 3.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
I don't know that it's beating Toro, but it could beat Skyrush. Oh, lost Sammy. Let's see. What's one roller coaster you want to see get removed next to Great Adventure in the future? Now, I know most people would say Green Lantern, but I don't think so, and I know Austin also doesn't think so. Honestly, if they don't refurbish Skull Mountain soon, I would say Skull Mountain, just because, honestly, the state it's in, I just don't like it. I mean, the queue is great, and the visuals of the ride are great, but the ride itself is very lacking. Very, very lacking.
I think
There's
they
no
would,
theming
like-
anymore.
I think they would consider, if they were even considering getting rid of Green Lantern, I think they would definitely consider converting it, don't you? I mean,
I think so.
No, I
you don't
disagree.
think so?
No, there's
come?
no way. I don't think they would invest the money to convert Green Lantern when they have Medusa in the park already.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
I mean, there's that, but I mean, how smart are the GP really? Like, they don't know the difference. But the problem with Green Lantern is that it's old. It's very old,
Yeah.
and I don't know how much longer it has, per se. I mean, granted, Batman is still kicking, and that thing's older, but Green Lantern was also relocated, so I'm sure there's some growing pains.
Exactly. That's
What-
a huge factor. That's why it's kind of rattly when besides when it was changed, when it was at Six Flags Kentucky Kingdom. I can tell you Green Lantern was a hell of a lot much smoother when I did my 3 rides in 2009. So what a difference now. So yes, that relocation has accelerated the aging process of that coaster.
What if they got rid of Green Lantern for a surf coaster? How would you feel about that?
I don't know if
I
that's
don't
possible.
think they should get rid of Green Lantern. I mean, however, I think Green Lantern is starting to take a hit in popularity because when I was there Friday, Superman had a pretty decent line and Green Lantern was a station wait, which is something I have not seen happen.
It had
I
a
think
full
people
queue
are
today.
finally starting to lose interest in Green Lantern.
Yeah, Green Lantern was a full queue today.
Oh, well, scratch that. It's very iconic now.
Honestly, my answer to this question is, if we're talking my personal bias, the coaster I'd like to see removed next is Superman. But realistic terms talking, as much as it's iconic and whatnot, I think Mine Train would probably be up there too, along with Skull Mountain for rides getting removed.
See, the thing with Runaway Mine Train is that they can't fill that space with anything. It barely takes up any land.
I understand that, but that also goes back to a point that I made earlier about Skyway. Like, when you have to think about what's financially feasible for a company. And as far as you can't, I get what you're saying. You can't really fill that spot, but taking that ride out can save them a lot of money in the future.
That's true.
And that could go towards investing in creating a spot for a coaster to go somewhere else in the park. Like, for example, a lot of people have been speculating that once Northern Star Arena is gone, if that goes away, there's going to be a coaster built back there somewhere. Who knows? But that's where my head is at with Runaway Mine Train, at least. I don't know about you guys, but
if we're talking rides in general, though, to get removed next, unfortunately, just with the direction of the company now, I think other than Skyway, the next in line on the chopping block would probably be Mine Train and Log Flume. And if something else happens with Toro, I think it could be done.
yeah, I agree. I think Toro's on its last legs now.
But I
Which
can
is
see them
crazy
bringing in
to say,
RMC to do
but-
something.
What was that?
I can see them bringing in RMC to do something with that ride.
Yeah.
Whether it's
I
just a
would-
208 retrack.
Give it the lightning rod treatment, perhaps.
That's true. Well, it's
That's 208.
basically
If
208.
push comes to shove.
That was 208.
Lightning Rod's 208? I mean, it's
Yeah,
just iBox.
It's just painted 208. 208 is iBox. It's just I don't know. They just call it 208.
They call it 208 when it's put on a coaster not made by RMC.
But that's every coaster.
No. You call it an RMC iBox when you're building a brand new layout out of it. That's when it's an RMC coaster.
Oh. I see.
Let's see. We talked about this earlier. I have not been on Aeroforce, but Austin and Ace have, and Austin loves it. Ace likes it, but doesn't love it. Ace, have you ridden Shadow Stalker?
No. Unfortunately, Sammy gave his large event on Coaster Stock, so that definitely wasn't happening.
Well, you'll get on it soon.
Yeah, we just have to schedule something.
Yeah. Colin, do you have permission to film on ride at Hurricane Harbor? I don't know. I haven't asked. I haven't really. Hurricane Harbor, see, for me, I'm not a huge water park person because I have 2 water parks that I absolutely love. And then one, I guess, pretty much right up there with them. And then the others I just don't really care about. I love Volcano Bay more than any other water park. Splash and Safari and Water Country USA are freaking awesome too. And then the rest of them, they're very mediocre to me. Although Fiesta Texas's Hurricane Harbor is really good. Everything else, though, I'm not really a big fan of. I don't care for them.
Holiday World's water park is phenomenal, and so is Wildwood.
Yes.
Wildwood
Yes. Maury's has a really good water park.
Maury's
so
water park is
Pier.
phenomenal.
Yes. Do you think Great Adventure will get a Giga Coaster in a few years? If they're not getting a Giga Coaster for 2024, which I'm starting to think they're not, then I don't know that they're ever going to get a Giga Coaster. That's the way I see it.
Six Flags has never built one, so I don't see why they would start now. That's my opinion on it.
Exactly. Got to ride Guardians and Tron this month. Guardians is such a great ride. Tron is good, but too short. That's the consensus I've heard from a lot of people. Oh, Ace is out. And the new slides at Hurricane Harbor are actually still in the parking lot. The only thing that's done is the land is cleared. I don't know how it's going to get done before the end of summer. That's unfortunate.
I heard it's probably not going to be done this year.
Well, with the fact that the slides aren't even vertical yet, probably not.
Yeah.
In their defense, though, they've scheduled this like end of February. All these like little additions that they've been doing, like this, the Piscettis,
it was very last minute.
They were because they realized that's what took a hit was the attractions. So I think next year they're going to be ahead of like very well planned, and we're going to see some cool stuff next year. But this year it was no.
Right. What is everyone's favorite place to eat at the park? See, usually I would say Fat Burger, but Fat Burger has kind of declined in quality. I'm sure you guys have noticed this too. They no longer serve skinny fries. They're just regular French fries. And personally, I really don't like Great Adventure's regular French fries, so I wind up just eating the burger. And the burger isn't as good as it used to be. So personally, I would say Mama Flora's Grill down by Batman. They have these pretty good cheesesteaks, and of course their fries are not very good, but the cheesesteaks are good. And surprisingly enough, Primo's actually stepped up their game, and the pizza itself is solid, and they have pretty good garlic knots too. So that's my opinion. I know Ace would definitely have differing opinions than me. Ace is a little preoccupied right now, though. So Sammy, go ahead.
I don't want to sound like a suck up to the VIP lounge, but I had some of the food there today. It was pretty freaking good. I'm not gonna lie. They had these pretzel bites, and those were really good. Austin got a grilled cheese, and I tried a piece of it. So good. And honestly, like I saw Jason got the burger, and that looked pretty good. And there's some pretty good food there. I'm not gonna lie.
Does the meal plan work in there?
No, but the 50% off does.
Yeah, the 50% does.
Interesting.
Ace,
what's your
I'd
favorite
have to say Macho Nacho. Well, now that it'll be open because no, when Toro opens back up, because Fat Burger sucks now. It's not like it used to be. So just like the day I don't know if you was there, Colin. Yeah, you were there. We had brick burgers. Remember the cold brick burgers? It was cold. It was as cold as a brick. I was so disappointed. I couldn't believe how they changed in like less than 12 months. Wow.
Yeah, Ace is no bullshit. He gets right to the point. Macho Nacho, though, specifically the one by El Toro, has always been one of my favorite places.
Same here.
Nachos there is great.
Oh, did you know that when El Toro first opened up, and your father could attest to this, that was the bomb. They used to have chicken breast strips. It was like $10. You get a huge bowl. Yeah, chicken, lettuce, tomatoes, onions, everything on it. Those were the good old days before they had the dining plan. And that's why I love Macho Nacho. Before it was Macho Nacho, and they did the renovation, obviously, to what it is now. So I've been going ever since.
Right.
I think my personal favorite place to eat at the park would be the quesadilla place by Batman.
Okay.
That's just never been one of my places personally, but
Yeah.
I do like Macho Nacho.
Yeah, it's the best one. They have everything.
Thoughts on Knoebels? Is it worth a day trip from New Jersey? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Knoebels
Yeah.
is one of the coolest, most unique parks out there. It's nothing like anything I've ever been to. It's just, it's got this atmosphere that can't even be explained. You have to go there to experience it. And it's very affordable. The food there is cheap. Admission there is
And good.
cheap.
You can bring the dog.
Yeah, you
Admission
can bring
is
your
free.
dog, bring a camper, go camp out up there.
Yep.
It's a great place. Genuinely one of the
Yeah.
coolest parks in the country.
And they have really good food.
Yes.
Yeah, the
very
burgers
good
are
and
great.
cheap food.
The burgers, every time I go there, get a cheeseburger or a double cheeseburger. It's
Me too,
incredible.
yeah.
I'm
They're
sure
really
you guys can, I'm sure you guys like their burgers too.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Great burgers. That's how Fat Burger used to be. Fat Burger was like that before, they kind of screwed up. And,
Right.
and at least you have that. They're never going to change their way of making their burgers.
I do miss the skinny fries.
Yeah.
Hmm.
All right, moving on. Nitro or Candemonium and why? I say Nitro. I just think
Nitro.
it's a better ride overall.
Yeah.
I like Nitro better.
Nitro doesn't have seatbelts, so
Yeah.
I'm the biggest Candemonium hater in this call right now, so obviously Nitro.
Candemonium's
Nitro.
good,
I
but it
wasn't
just doesn't have
impressed
enough.
at all by Candemonium. Not one bit.
I think I've become pretty well known around the area that we live in for being like a huge Candemonium hater, because that's like one of the most common questions I get asked is why I hate that ride so much.
Well, why do you hate it?
Because
I-
it's
I-
like
it's
sitting
very-
on my living room couch on
it's
a
very
roller
weak.
coaster. There's no forces to me at all. I've given it several chances. I've ridden it front and back. I've ridden it in the fall and the summer, warmed up and cold, and it just does nothing for me. Like
I agree.
It does absolutely nothing.
I don't know. Sammy and I had some
Yeah.
good rides on it.
yeah, I thought I think me and Colin have been on it like definitely a couple dozen times at this point together. Like
Oh,
every
yeah.
time I'm there, Colin's there.
Yeah.
So
It's better than being on a couch, Austin. But however, I see what you mean. The brake run, why in the hell would you have a trim in the middle of the damn ride? They could have done more with that. But
It's
you don't
too
need a
short.
trim.
For
Nitro,
being a hiker,
obviously.
it's just too short.
The
Yeah.
trims make no sense to me on that ride. It has no mid course, so like why trim
Yeah.
the ride?
It'd be
know.
cool if it went around the carousel too.
It'd be cool if it had more
Yeah.
airtime.
Yeah, I mean it tries, but then the trims just kill it.
Yeah. Let's see. For me, I gotta say Iron Gwazi. I think the Velocicoaster is good, but not crazy good due to me not being a theming person. I'm not hating on it. Fair enough. What great adventure could have a multiple new rides along with big new coaster for 50th anniversary next year? I'm gonna say no.
I don't think so.
I think 50th anniversary will be solely based on the park appearance and what they do with the park rather than adding rides. I don't think it'll be ride focused.
Yeah, we talked about it before. Like, it'd be really cool if they did something with the historical timeline of the park, like we talked about with the Valraven building, with the every year here's what they did, or here's when the coasters
Right.
came in. Something like that would be really cool. They're not going to put on like a full on museum or anything, but they could do something really cool with the history.
Yeah,
You know what would be really cool now that Bob brought up something great, and Bob can attest to this, and he's seen this near Viper. Have something like near Viper, the world's greatest coasters. They have a picture of Twisted Colossus, Tatsu,
Yeah.
Viper, you name it, X2, all the great coasters. Do that like a nice collage of all the great coasters at Great Adventure somewhere around the park. That would be nice.
Yeah.
On that note, Colin, I think I'm gonna head out because I have to wake up at like 5:30 tomorrow.
That's right. You got school.
No,
Or do you?
I'm going to ride Wildcat.
That's right. I forgot. Well, Sammy, enjoy. Let me know how it is.
I'm
Yeah,
off
is there any other
tomorrow.
Shadow Stalker questions in the chat? That way I don't miss them.
I don't think there's any.
I didn't see any as I'm keeping an eye on my
I saw
screen.
one.
Just wanna make
They're,
sure that-
they're joke ones. Nothing serious.
Oh, okay.
With Sammy leaving, I am going to put a line in the chat to end off questions. Send them in. You got a minute, and then that will be it. We're gonna start winding
I
down.
will
but
catch you
Sammy,
guys
enjoy
after
it tomorrow.
Wildcat. What is it?
See
I
you,
said
Sammy.
enjoy it tomorrow.
Yeah, I will keep. You guys can keep it here on Built to Thrill to watch me and Jack's live reactions. So, yeah, I'm gonna be running there in the morning. So I'll see you guys later.
See ya.
See ya.
Take care. Take care, Sammy.
All right, next up, let's see. In the beginning of your videos, you say your name, and I can't make it out.
This is Colin from Hollywood Studios.
I say it very fast. I'll take it a little slow. I say, "Hey guys, it's Colin from Hollywood Studios here." I have it like ingrained into my mind. I just say it so quickly now, especially when I'm trying to do a clip fast. So it's like, "Hey guys, it's Colin from Hollywood Studios," like very fast. So,
Well, it all goes without saying. Us Northerners have the proclivity to speak extremely fast, so and yet eloquently. So you know that we're all New York, New Jersey boys, so we're gonna speak like
Us
that very
Northerners.
fast. Everything's
What?
fast. Everything's fast in our region. Come on now, we speak so fast.
What'd you
And
say, Colin?
you too, right, Bob?
I said all of us Northerners up here.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
You know,
You too, Bob.
Ohio people are known to speak fast. Yeah.
Personally,
Yeah, it's like we have that.
I think that's something that I really disliked about Georgia when I went last weekend was how
Slow.
slow paced everything is there.
Yeah, I know.
Everybody takes their time, and it's just like, oh my
Oh my
god, like,
God.
come on.
You know what these son of a guns do at the parking lot? They can literally wait up the line for freaking 10 damn minutes and they don't care. They just will sit there and let everybody wait. They're very slow paced. They've done that quite a few times in Nova Georgia. I'm telling you, they some of them drive slow. It's just unbelievable.
Well,
I know-
speaking of our fast pace, we got to start moving through these questions because we got a lot to get through.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Finishing my 2023 USA trip plan so far. I got 2 days at Hershey, 2 days at Great Adventure, 1 day at Fun Spot in Over Georgia. Do you think it would be worth it to add half a day at Nick Universe and Luna? I don't like Nickelodeon Universe, so that and Luna
Yeah.
Park, it's a
Luna's
great place,
good.
but
it's more
it's
for
very
little kids.
difficult to get there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the
So, I would
other
say-
plans are good though. 2 days at those two parks are perfect. Although you could do like a day and a half at Hershey and do like half a day at Dorney or something too.
Yeah,
Dorney's
you
only,
definitely do that.
Dorney's only like an hour away from Hershey or Knoebels.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's see. Yes, I do know it has to do with the restraints, but you'd think that they would design the restraints with the audience in mind, which they obviously don't do on some of these family coasters. Have any of you worked at Great Adventure? If so, doing what? I have not. Ace has not. I don't. Austin, you haven't, right?
No, I
So-
think Sammy's gonna be the first one among.
Yeah, Sammy will
this
be.
group.
Since Brian's not here, yeah.
Yeah, Brian and Tom have worked there. And James.
Oh,
Yep.
true. Yep.
Let's see. What's the best row on Medusa? Either front row or back row. There's not too big of a difference. They're both good.
Yep.
What do you think Winkler thinks about the park now? I don't know, honestly.
He's such a nice guy. I don't think he would like crap on it, but I don't know. That's interesting because like
I
everybody
don't
was
know
so
if it went the way he wanted it to.
right. Everybody was so down on like Salim's original plans, but if they do come to fruition within whatever time frame, I mean, then it's like, oh, all right, the guy was actually right.
Right. Go to Cedar Point for the first time for Coaster Mania. Have fun. Coaster Mania was a bit botched last year, so I hope it's better this
I mean,
year.
I'm skipping out on it because I'm going to be PA those 2 days. I decided not to drive back to Ohio, so I'm just giving my ticket to somebody that wants it, which is still nobody's taking me up on that. Although the schedule is like way better this year than it has been the past couple of years, so I think it'll be fun for people.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's a good thing actually, because there's nothing better than Wildcat's Revenge right now. That was a great choice, Bob.
Well, I got the Leap the Dips thing 2 days later too, and I have cousins that live like 40 minutes from Dorney, so I'm just going to stay with them for 2 days and go over to Dorney for a couple hours.
Oh, cool. Oh, cool.
See, Millennium Force is your background. What's your favorite ride at Cedar Point? I guess this is directed at you, Bob.
Steel Vengeance.
I think that's the
Yeah.
default answer for most people. Sometimes Maverick.
Yeah,
makes its
I'm
way
a
in there.
Maverick guy.
Maverick
Yeah,
is
I don't
great.
blame you. I love Maverick.
Or for courtesy to Austin, that's a 1A, 1A. That's the 1A to Vengeance, Austin. Those two, that's the best ones here. Area of a
think,
park in the world, and they're both the greatest. They're both the two best coasters in the park.
What does it for me is rerideability. I think Maverick kills Vengeance and rerideability. I can ride Vengeance like 2 or 3 times, and then I can't. It's just too much. That ending really hurts my legs. And the seats, the RMC trains in general, I'm never really comfortable in them. Besides a couple of exceptions, so Steel Vengeance really does it for
The
me.
two that run the Gerstlauer trains are super comfortable.
Yes,
But
Iron Rattler
then,
and New
like
Texas
the
Giant are
RMC,
so much more
the
comfortable.
RMC trains themselves are shit. Like they're so uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm. I think Gwazi's and
Yo, I
Air
concur
Force Ones
with
are
it.
pretty good.
I think Austin, they could, you know what? The better trains are I would have to say Iron Gwazis are better than Aeroforce
Yeah,
One. Aeroforce One, for some reason, it just beats your legs up. I don't know why. For a brand new coaster, like wow, the trains they need to improve those trains on the RMCs. I concur with that.
I think it's more or less just
They
the
need to do
design
something.
of the shape of the seat, because they have this like really obnoxious like divider between your legs that goes up against your crotch area, and it's just like, why is that even there?
Yeah,
It's very uncomfortable, especially on Vengeance. That's why I don't like Vengeance's finale. Really, it's just a crotch crusher for me.
Yeah,
I
it
literally
takes
think the
away.
only reason they have it is so that it's a touch point with the restraint coming down, so that nobody can get out of it. Like, but it's pointless because
Yeah,
even
it's
if it was,
pointless.
yeah, I mean, if you push the thing down far enough, like they do anyways on people, it's not going to matter.
Yeah,
It's like taking away from just like Superman with those stupid bars, and when they had to take out those T-bars because of the lawsuit. You know,
yeah.
it just takes away. Superman's still my top 10, but it would be that much better if you had the T-bars. If you can have something that's comfortable as the T-bars or the new generation intimate restraints, perfect. Oh my God, those RMC restraints suck. Even though I love RMC to death, that's the only downfall drawback with the RMCs.
Yeah.
Only thing.
All right, we're gonna
You
keep
know.
moving on here. Would you be upset if they demolished Skull Mountain? I'd be upset if they demolished any coaster at the park. I have such a strong attachment to all of them, so I would. I definitely don't want them to. Hello, Katie. Very excited to ride Wildcat's Revenge. Only a couple days left until we're on it. Very, very excited. Let's see. The D train is weird now. Yeah, it doesn't run. It just runs differently than the other ones. I didn't get the chance to ride it ever since it first opened, so I guess I'll have to try to get on it again. Might be a hot take amongst you guys, but I think Green Lantern will be the next coaster removed. I think this is due to service life, and they can't convert it to floorless because Medusa. I just think they're going to keep it around because it probably doesn't cost much to maintain, just because it's a B&M.
And B&M parts.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know that they really have to get rid of it per se. And service life, Batman is quite a few years older than it, although Batman didn't go through a relocation like that did. So time will tell. Let's see. I think Great Adventure should have their webcam for the park like Cedar Fair does. Yeah, I think that'd be cool, but I wouldn't count on it. Let's see. What kind of discounts you get on Cabanas for the Diamond Pass? I know it says 50%, but 50% of what? I unfortunately do not know. I really couldn't tell you. You guys are meeting with Salim tomorrow. I heard he's going to the park tomorrow, so have fun. Let's see. Do you think the Super TP will make a return for 50th anniversary? I'm going to say no. That was a really, really large structure, and of course its land is completely taken up now, so I'm going to say no, unfortunately. But that was one of my favorite buildings in the whole park.
Agreed. It was iconic.
Very. Is Shadowstalker on Log Ride? I don't think it is. I don't use Log Ride, so I'm not sure, but I don't think it is. Where do you rank Shadowstalker amongst the coasters in New Jersey? It is at least top 49, because I think that's how many there are here.
It's better than a damn Pinfari we rode on the pier.
Oh, yeah. Well, we didn't even ride it. You just looked at it.
No, not that one. The one we did ride that I ended up riding with that guy's daughter because he could only ride with one kid. Yeah.
Yeah, that one. I thought you were talking about Keensburg.
No. Yeah, no, we couldn't ride that one because it was laying in the parking lot.
Yeah, they just had the carts just sitting on the pathway on pallets. It was great. Let's see. I'd love to see Green Lantern get those new seats that are on Pipeline. I don't think those would work on Green Lantern for starters. Green Lantern's track is not designed with trains like that in mind. They probably put more stress on the track than the track on Green Lantern could handle. Plus, I don't think it would be as pleasant as you think it is, even with the suspension. The Pipeline is designed with a totally different design language than that of Green Lantern. It's not focused on high positive G-forces. It's focused on lower positive G-forces, but higher negative G-forces. That's why it looks tame. And I'm sure when you're on it, as Ace could attest to, it's a very, very unique ride experience. Right, Ace?
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. It's just, it's too, excuse me, it's too old. And nah, you can't mix old technology with new technology. It's not going to work.
No. Do we think Wildcat's Revenge will be better than Aeroforce? If you're
Yes.
Ace, yes. If you're Austin, no. That's the way I'm looking at it.
No, I honestly think that Wildcat is definitely a contender because if it's like I've seen in some of the test run videos that I've been sent personally, if it's paced anything like Gwazi, I think definitely got a chance against Aeroforce One.
It does rip through the layout. I mean,
Yeah, I think the wave turns alone could be as strong as Gwazi's, and if that's the case, then that thing's gonna be a very, very, very strong ride. So I think there's definitely potential for it to be better than Aeroforce One.
Yeah, I can see it, especially with all those inversions and the wave turns and everything. I can see it.
Do you like Splish Splash? Never been there.
Never been there.
Road Wicked Cyclone, that's an airtime machine. That's a really good RMC. It gets a lot of heat for no reason. It's excellent.
I need re-rides on it, but I agree.
I had the same situation I had with Goliath. I went on a cold, rainy day, and I had horrible rides on it. So
yeah. Let's see. Went on the Dragon Coaster. That's awesome. Dragon Coaster's a really cool ride. You don't need a new coaster next year for Great Adventure. Just park upgrades, especially a repaint on a few coasters. I agree. Let's see. Where is Shadow Stalker located? I don't think he wants his town disclosed publicly, so it's in.
Well, just put his address on the screen in big letters, just like right here, right now.
It's in New Jersey. It's not far from. Nah, I'm not gonna say that. It's in middle of New Jersey. There you go. Let's see. Have any tips on how to have a good ride on Nitro? Ride in the back row, right edge seat, and try to give yourself as much room as you possibly can. My tips for not getting stapled is to puff your chest out and try to make it look like you're bigger than you are so that they don't push down as hard. They do tend to staple, though, so you might have to apply a little bit of force with either your leg or your stomach, but you will get at least one click of room usually, and that's how I enjoy myself on Nitro.
Or what you can do is just have your ass a little bit off. Don't have your ass touching the seat.
Unless you're Colin on Time Traveler.
Yeah, that.
Oh, boy.
That was
something. Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Let's see. Next up, Wildcat's Revenge versus Jersey Devil. I think Wildcat will blow it out of the water.
100%.
The Jersey Devil's a great ride, but Wildcat will be so much better.
Wildcat's going to be great.
Do you think there will ever be more family coasters / rides at a Great Adventure? Absolutely. Definitely.
Yeah.
Hey, Colin, I just went to Fiesta, Texas, had a blast in Dr. Diabolical. That's awesome. Thoughts on Dark Coaster? I really don't know what to think about it. I'm riding it this week. I didn't say that during the stream yet, but I'm going to Busch Gardens this week as well as Kings Dominion after Wildcat. But I'm very excited to just see what it's like. I haven't ridden Curse of Dark Castle since 2014. That's when I rode it. So I don't remember much, but I did ride it, and I remember it being super cool. So I just hope it can live up to how good Dark Castle was. I guess we'll have to wait and see, though.
Well, I heard the ride.
Hang on, Ace.
I heard the ride was good. I heard the ride was good. However, the lighting package between you and us, it's kind of on the cheap side. So I'm going to leave it at that.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll find out. Do you think the Chiller can make a comeback in Premier Rides form? I think it could, especially with the new LSM technology as opposed to LIMs, which use a lot more power, from my understanding. I think it could. I think it'd be great to see Great Adventure get a reincarnation of it, but that is going to do it for this stream. That is all the questions that we have time for. If you guys want to go through one more time and plug all your Instagrams and YouTube and whatnot, we'll start with Bob, then Austin, and go to Ace.
BK photo page on everything.
I'm D-Road Coasters on YouTube and Instagram.
I am Mr. Kai around the coaster world, and however, my Facebook is Ace Kai.
Well, guys, I hope you're all excited to get on Wildcat. For those of you that are, I know
Yep.
all 4 of us will all be there. If you guys enjoyed this stream, be sure to subscribe to Hollywood Studios. Stay tuned for more content coming this week. There's going to be plenty of it. And with that being said, have a good night, everyone.
That's it.
Good night.